2 weeks.
Well, a fine good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Mahoning County Board of Elections.
Good morning, Mr.
It's
Chair.
about 8:15. It's October 2nd, 2018. This is a regular monthly meeting of the Mahoning County Board of Elections. This meeting is called to order. The director, please call the roll.
Mr. Monroe?
Here.
Ms. Winbush?
Here.
Mr. Wasco?
Here.
Mr. Beatrice?
Here. Item number 2 is to consider the approval of the regular meeting minutes from the September 4th meeting.
So moved, Mr. Chair.
Second.
There's a motion, there's a second. Any discussion? Director, call the roll.
Mr. Monroe?
Yes.
Ms. Winbush?
Yes.
Mr. Wasco?
Yes.
Mr. Beatrice?
Yes.
We also have in front of us the office expenses and bills for the period September 1 through September 30. Those have been distributed. Any comments?
Motion to pay the bills from September 1 through the 30th.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Wasco, second by Ms. Winbush. Any discussion? Director, call the roll.
Mr. Monroe?
Yes.
Ms. Winbush?
Yes.
Mr. Wasco?
Yes.
Mr. Beatrice?
Yes.
Under Chairman's report, Joyce, I've got just one request. We've had a lot of conversations about updating voting equipment. Could you just prepare a kind of a summary memo for us? I know we've had
Oh, yes.
conversations. Just maybe get us a note about something in writing that we can review a little more carefully.
Okay.
That would be much appreciated. Just kind of a
Are
summary.
you talking about pricing or equipment?
Equipment primarily.
I'm waiting for, actually, I'm waiting for the bid prices to come in. So as soon as I get the bid prices from the DAS, I will put a
Yeah.
memo together.
Well, I know pricing is still down the road, but I know you've got a vision.
Oh, yes, I have a vision. I have a vision.
He wants the vision on paper. so we
Okay,
can
you
read
want
it.
the vision on paper?
I'd like to
Okay.
see the vision on paper.
Okay, I will give you the vision on paper.
Not a book, just a
Just a little.
just a couple paragraphs.
Yes, right.
And that's really all that I have. Joyce, Director's report.
Well, the election is coming along smoothly. We start early voting on October 10th. Close of registration is on October 9th. We'll be open till 9 o'clock that night. So far, we have 16,257 absentee applications in the office, which is ahead of the last governor's election by quite a margin. So we've been pretty busy, pretty steady. Other than that, everything's running pretty close. We're doing L&A on our election machines right now, and we're progressing. Same voting locations, no voting locations change this election, so we're good about that. That's about it. We're just proceeding.
I have a question just because it affects me personally. The Yuba Cava voters, so my son's in the military at Fort Benning. How do I make sure that he votes?
We have talked to your son on the phone, and he's never sent us what he's supposed to send us.
Oh, well, although they do have him busy every day.
Yeah, they do. He
But
just
don't they
has-
have to give him access to a computer
Yes,
to vote?
they have to give him access to a
Yeah,
computer,
it's-
and
yeah,
they
he's
have to-
afraid to ask his sergeants.
see, that's it. That's the problem we have with a lot of UConn voters, especially the ones that go into boot camp. They're afraid to approach the sergeants.
Well, he's out of boot camp, but he's in ranger training,
Right, so, yeah.
Joyce, I have a question about purging files.
We have not gotten a directive about purging the files. I think Secretary of State Houston is going to wait for the next Secretary of State to come in. We only do it in off years anyway. All purging is done in off years, not in even years.
Well, last night I was at a political forum and they were talking about the purging of files and the purging of voters, and they were saying that, I guess we sent out letters saying that you need to update your files. And
We always do that. We do that.
And you, after 2 years?
Yes, and next year we'll send out another letter. Yeah, we always send out notices that you haven't voted in so many years, you have to update your records.
So, but they were told that they don't vote in this election, then they'll be purged. But that was after 2 years.
Yes, that could be next year. If they don't vote in this election, it could be purged next year. It'll be up to.
No.
No.
No, that's what I thought.
If they voted in the presidential year and didn't vote this year, they're not purged.
No.
Okay, well, that's what her question
No,
is.
they were saying that if you haven't voted in 2 years.
No, 4 years.
That's what I thought.
Yes,
It's two presidential elections, am I correct?
Well,
No,
two federal.
two
Two
federal.
federal?
Right, two federal.
No, generally what happens is, first of all, you have to be inactive for maybe almost 2 years before you can get the attention of the
Right.
board. And then it's 2 federal elections
After that.
after that.
Right.
So the actual time,
So it's 6 years, actually.
well, it could be 6 or 7 years
But
sometimes.
it's,
I mean,
but it's more than just 4 years.
Absolutely, right.
Okay.
The 4 years is part of that process, but before you get to that process, there's a period of inactivity or non-response. So-
Okay.
So when you add the 2 federal elections plus the inactivity or non-response to a card
For the
before
prior
that,
years. Okay,
you could be up to 6 or 7 years.
okay.
And the only reason why that happened was the decision was rendered, I believe, within 100 days of an election. And so it couldn't apply to this election. The Supreme Court
Right.
of the United States, was it? Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
They issued the decision, but since it was issued within 100 days of an election, that's why they couldn't apply it to this election.
Okay, so how is it brought to our attention in the 2, after the 2 federal elections? Is
After 2
something,
federal elections,
does it
yeah.
pop, there's?
Yeah, we have a program that brings those voters up. We automatically send them an acknowledgement letter. We send them a letter actually with a self-addressed stamped envelope that we pay for them to fill out the form and send it back to us if they want to continue to be a voter. We send that out, every year, twice a year,
Twice,
twice a year, yeah,
twice.
yeah, twice a year.
Sure, and there are lots of things that can reset that clock. If somebody just
Sign
renews
the
their
petition,
driver's
Sign the
license.
petition.
Renewing their driver's license automatically re-registers you to
No.
vote?
Well, under the current plan, there's the look back, or what do they, there's a special rule they've got for doing that.
I forget what they call them.
We
Safeguard.
don't have motor
What is
voter.
it?
Safeguard.
Safeguard,
Say-
yeah.
Yeah, there's a.
Dante actually does those.
There's a safeguard provision whereby boards of elections get updated lists of people that have
From the
updated from BMV, and if somebody just updates their driver's license, which they do every 5 years.
Is that true, Dante?
Yes.
Don't you send them out a notice?
We do, and if we get, well, trying to think.
In other words, if the board gets a notification from the BMV that a registered voter has updated their driver's license or has renewed their driver's license at that current address, the clock gets reset.
Right, we changed the date,
Right.
the activity date,
Right.
to whatever they had activity at the BMV.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
the-
As long as they're a registered voter.
Right.
Okay, if someone goes and gets a driver's license and are not a registered voter, they don't automatically become a registered voter.
No.
No, but they do give them they offer them the registration
They're
to
supposed
BMV.
to.
Supposed to.
Offer them a registration.
And if you sign a petition, your record's updated also.
So you can register right there at the board.
Wait a minute, what did you just say?
If you sign a petition, the record is automatically
Well,
updated.
so how are we catching that?
We have a program in our system.
Yeah, but we get thousands of those signatures in a year. You mean
We check every signature, and we record every signature on our computer.
okay.
Right, exactly, yes.
We know every petition you've signed up the last 8 to 10
Yeah.
years.
Yeah, we can tell you.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Very nosy.
Also,
And it's public record.
Yeah.
oh, really?
The way, and to call that process purging, I object to that term because
Yeah.
it's really voter maintenance. As I've said so many times, if anybody's been involved with a book club or a garden club, and you've got 100 members, even that's a challenge to keep those records current and updated. People move, they pass away.
That's our biggest problem, people moving. But we do everything to allow the voter the right to vote. I mean, we go above and beyond. There's so many things that, in place to let the voter vote that, even on election day, if they haven't voted, we flag those. We ask for ID or whatever, and they can vote then and update their registration. I mean, we do so many things for the voters, so a little responsibility has to be on the voter.
I went to the jail.
Yeah.
So,
I
Yeah,
think I've-
Ray went to jail, registered 40 people the other day.
Yeah, if somebody was registered, say in 2015, they didn't,
It's weird.
and say they did not vote in
I'm
the
there all the time.
2016 presidential, it would be almost, I think, 2020 or 2021 before they would finally,
Yeah.
be.
See,
caught
no
up
one
in
is
the-
actually purged anymore, because even if you're on the computer for inactivity, you stay on the computer. You're not removed from the computer anymore. That's how we have to do it now. So they're really not purged per se.
Well, they're purged in the sense that they can't vote.
They can't vote, but yes, right. And they don't appear on our list after so many
Or
years.
they vote a provisional, right?
They can vote a provisional, which will update their registration.
And how's death how are you advised on death?
They get death certificate.
Vital certificate?
Yeah, we get death certificates from the vital statistics, right? That's the only way we can remove some.
We've had a number-
Or was it death, certificate?
We've had a number of occasions where people's absentees were pulled because they died
Yeah.
before
Right.
election day.
Yeah.
You have to be alive on election day.
Right.
Oh,
Right?
you do?
Yeah. So if you vote absentee and then you die, your vote doesn't count.
Yeah, we pull that.
Oh, really?
See that? You didn't even
I didn't know that.
Tracy.
No.
No. If you drank more beer, you'd know that.
All right, you people.
Also, do we have, like, any kind of small cards that have the app on it that I can take with me so that I can pass them out so people can know to go to our Mahoney County Votes app as I go out?
I have envelopes, I don't have some.
But we have something where they have the app on it?
Yes.
If I can get some of those to take with me, I'd appreciate it, thanks. I'm done, thank you.
Let's see,
You have to pass the motion.
travel resolution.
Yes. That is travel for 2019, that we have to file every year with the county to,
Memorandum,
Is that for the
conference.
conference?
Yes.
Yeah.
I moved
And
it.
any other travel we might.
And that's a mandatory thing, right, that the board members have to go to?
It's not mandatory, but you should go.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm
I
president of
think
the association. I would-
Continuing
I would hope-
Congratulations.
I would hope that all my board members would go.
I move that we approve, all board travel and board travel related expenses for directors and staff for 2019 calendar year.
Second.
There's a motion and a second that the resolution be approved and adopted. Any other discussion? Director call the roll?
Mr. Monroe?
Yes.
Ms. Winbush?
Yes.
Mr. Wasko?
Yes.
Mr. Peters?
Yes, I just want to notice on our signatures, you could tell that me and Mark Monroe signed this, but these squiggly lines, I don't know who's who. I'm assuming, because it sort of looks like a T, that's Tracy, and Bob, that looks like something from an EKG.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Joyce, anything else?
No, sir, that's it for me.
Is there any unfinished business to consider this morning? Any new business? Any board communications to report?
Mr. Chairman.
Any public comment this morning?
That is not your line.
Anything for the good of the order? Our next meeting is will be a regular, it'll be an adjourned regular meeting. It'll be set for Monday, November the 5th.
Oh, wait a minute, I do have one thing.
Mr. Beatrice.
The Board of Elections has a Facebook site, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So I was wondering if we can't start live streaming our board meetings.
Really good.
You could, I have to work with it. I have to.
No, you just have to have someone with a phone and a,
She's doing it now.
oh, you're doing it now? You're live streaming it? Perfect.
There you go.
Here we go.
Is there a
Put
time-
something
is
like
there a
up front.
time for
I
November?
left the time off, Mr. Chairman. Did you want to set the time for the adjourned meeting?
It's usually 6, right?
Well, we've changed it several times.
Yeah, it's gone back and forth.
5:30, 6.
6 is good.
6 is good?
Hold on, let me check real quick. I can't believe we're talking about November already. Where did this year
Now
go?
we're talking about 2019, travel, winter conference.
David, isn't Joseph coming home?
Yeah, yeah,
You
yes.
can come in here and just fill out an application and send it to him when he does.
Okay.
6 p.m., Dave? November 5th?
Yeah, that's good.
Our next meeting will be an adjourned regular meeting. It'll be set for 6 p.m. This will be election eve, Monday, November the 5th. And then we'll adjourn it with the release of the official results on election day. If there's nothing else, is there a motion to adjourn?
I
I'm
so
sorry,
moved.
is there a motion to, a motion to adjourn?
I so
That's-
moved.
that's-
Second.
Director, call the roll.
Mr. Monroe?
Yes.
Ms. Winbush?
Yes.
Mr. Wasko?
Yes.
Mr. Peters?
Yes.
We are adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.